that big commitment is to change, right? And it sounds cliche because over time, the same thing happens to all different people and they all come up with the same answers. And it's making the changes and it's looking at yourself and saying, what do I need to do? You know, Michael Jackson's famous song, you want to change the world, you better start with the man in the mirror. And it's so true. You've got to start with you. You can't go out blaming anyone. I know victimhood's a big currency these days. You know, what I've been through and my journey and blah, blah, blah. Listen, that doesn't matter. And that's the cold hard truth. It just doesn't matter. What matters is what you're going to do about it. All that stuff is experience. What are you doing about it now? Put the BS aside, put the self-cheerleading aside. What are you going to do now and why is it important to you? Who are you going to inspire? Whose life are you going to change? Who's going to be impacted if you change your life? See those risks that you've been putting off, those challenges that you're avoiding, and the things that you think don't matter, that you can get around to another day. I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, we'll start next month. Face facts, right? Because you are under developing your potential. You've got so much ability to do more, and you need to start pushing. Well, you don't need to. You can stay in the comfort trap, but you'll not like it because there's a part of you it's been eaten and getting eaten alive with that process that you're going through. And you need to switch it up if you want more for yourself, and you can have it, but it's going to cost you your time, effort, and focus. If you pay that price, the results are incredible. So why is this a problem? Well, the problem is that it's so luring. Like the comfort trap paints you into this picture of you don't need to do anything. You should relax. You should get with the familiar. Things that you'll find is you're in the same routines. You're doing the same thing over and over again, and you start to get a bit sort of demoralized because you think, is this all there is? Is this all I can do? There's other people that are streaming ahead, and you say that they're lucky, or it's this, or it's that, or it's another thing. And the reality is that it's just your perception of you not pushing. You could have done those things, and you haven't decided to do so yet. You avoid risks because you think that they're way more risky. You don't look at the reward; you just look at the risk. So you don't balance that equation properly. And you take the easy way out. So you do the same things over and over again because you don't want to push. You don't take the hard choices, the hard decisions. You might, I'll not go to the gym today because I don't feel like it, so I'll just leave it till tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Things like this. So moving the needle in the things that are going to be meaningful in your life. This ties back to what happened with myself, where you need to have goals, you need to have objectives, you need to have a why. Why do you want to be better? Why do you want to improve? Why do you want to take the hard choice? Why do you want to do this now? Like, if you have this situation in your life that is going to be hard for you short term, you need to know why it's going to pay off long term. And these are the questions that only come from doing the deeper work, asking the bigger questions, creating the bigger goals, and taking time out of your own BS, out of your own little cheerleading. Whoa, I'm great, and it's but whoa, I'm the victim. You need to park that. You need to move that aside. You need to ask yourself the hard questions: who do I want to be, and who do I want to become, and why should I push to get there? When you get to that point, something happens, and these are not just woo-woo theories. Like some of the biggest names that you would have heard of, you probably heard of James Clear in Atomic Habits. He wrote a book about the little things adding up to big things. That's what atomic habits are. Atomic meaning small, habits meaning your habitual activities and behaviors, and how those little habits make huge changes. And he wrote a book where he explains where he had an accident and he could have fell into that victim mentality very easily. And he started to work on those small habits, and he realized that the small changes made massive impact, and that he could heal and recover and actually become a better version of himself by applying these principles. And he wrote it in that book. And the reason that had huge success is he's describing the exact same problem that you feel, the exact same issues that you have, that feeling of, hey, look, I am not quite at my potential. And the cold, hard reality of it is because of you. It's not the circumstances, it's not your bad luck, it's not what happened to you, and all this sort of stuff. The reality is it's you. All your excuses are lies. And on that topic of all your excuses are lies, Jocko Willink wrote a book called Discipline Equals Freedom. I've reviewed it twice on here. It's that impactful. Short, punchy, driven, concise book on how you can change your life. And he calls it out. He says, all your excuses are lies, all your nonsense, that stuff that you're feeding yourself, that little, just start the diet tomorrow, just do the training tomorrow, you're tired, you're sore, you're this, you're that, all the weakness is all you. You're giving in to that comfort trap. You're giving into that inner bitch. And your life is disappearing off into the distance, because if you don't change now, your results in your future won't change. And if you want those big results in your future, you need to start today. It starts now. There is no putting it off. You move the needle, you do the hard yards now, because you build that muscle, you build that repetition, you get that result now. And that means that you need to sacrifice the hedonistic lifestyle, the pleasure, you need to delay gratification. You need to sacrifice today's feel good for tomorrow's really good. And if you're prepared to do that, then you're on the right track. And James Clear tells you how to do it on a day-to-day basis. And Jocko Willink explains how at elite level in military standards, how only the very best could make it. And then even there, how they amplified it and made it work for themselves, and how he went on to form a leadership company, a great podcaster, an amazing author of wonderful books about how these small things that you can do, the small changes that you can make, that can create the life that you actually want and get you out of this comfort trap that you're in. And they're so small, they're right in front of you. But it doesn't matter how small they are, you don't make those decisions, you're not going to change anything. But if you are prepared to change, then you can get incredible, meaningful results almost instantly.